Hello and thanks so much for checking out this video. So today I'm going to be making some autumn decorations and I really wanted to challenge myself to do some upcycling. So I'm going to make 3 items and the first one is going to be a wreath, and I've been saving some cardboard boxes and I'm going to be cutting these up to construct my wreath. And I've also been to a few charity shops and I picked up this bowl which I really love the colour of, and I plan on adding some gold leaf and turning it into a candle. And then finally I picked up this lonely cushion which I am going to deconstruct and make into some cute fabric pumpkins. So let's begin. Okay, so for the wreath I am going to make my base first, and I have this nice big cardboard box. It has a fairly large diameter, so I'm going to use this one. So I cut 2 panels out of the box and I found the centre of the cardboard, and I'm using this really cool extendable compass thing to draw a large circle and then a smaller circle inside. I'm using a craft knife to cut them out to make a ring, which will be the base of the wreath. And just to make it a bit stronger, I am using 2 sheets of card. Okay, so I've got 2 circles and I'm going to stick them both together. And then to make the wreath, I am using some much thinner cardboard and I'm going to cut out lots of leaves. And the leaves are going to obviously be stuck all around here with hot glue. And I'm going to spray the whole thing gold. So it's all going to be, yeah, one colour, and I think that should look, hopefully will look really cool. So I've now got a million leaves to cut out of here, so let's go. I have procured some leaves, which I'm going to use as a template to draw around and then cut out from here. Whew, 1 down. Only 100 more to go. I'm not going to do all of them as intricate as this. I'm going to do some of them really simple shapes as well. So they're going to be sort of the fillers, and then there's going to be a few really intricate ones. And I'm also going to add a little bit of dimension to it by just scoring where the natural veins are in the leaf. And then I'm just going to fold them a little bit along those scoring lines, so then they just have a little bit more shape, they're not completely flat. Like that. Of course, this would be 100 times easier if I had a Cricut machine, and then it would cut it all out for me. But I don't have a Cricut machine. I think some of the simpler shapes as well I can cut out with scissors, which might make it a bit quicker. But the leaves with the pointy edges I think are better with the craft knife. Okay, so these are pretty much done. I'm hoping I have enough, but if I don't, obviously I can just do a few more while I'm constructing it. So now I am just going to spray them now gold outside in the cold, and hopefully they won't all blow away in the wind. Okay, so I have sprayed some of my leaves, but it became apparent quite quickly that they were not the colour that I wanted. They sort of just came out brown and slightly metallic, and yeah, they are not the vibe. So I am regrouping. I have my tea. I know it's going to take a lot more time, but I think I'm going to use my Calero Pearl Colour watercolours. I have tested them. They look much more the kind of gold that I was going for. They are much shinier. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time to paint them by hand, but it does dry pretty quickly, and I think it's just going to look a lot nicer. Okay, so I've finished painting all of the leaves now. I had to make a few more to make up for the ones that were spray painted in the colour that I didn't want. So now we will just start to construct the wreath. Okay, so I have my glue gun ready, nice and hot, and I'm just going to start by sticking these two rings together. And before I do that, I'm going to sandwich some ribbon in between so that it can be hung up. Okay, so I'm just going to create a little loop at the top, and yeah, the colour is quite similar to my gold leaves, so it won't be too intrusive. Okay, so I'm going to make all my leaves face in the same direction all the way around. So I'm just sort of generally marking out where I think things might go. I think because these are the biggest leaves, I kind of want to put them down first and then build everything around them, I think. Although I think I'll probably go with one and then go around in a circle. Okay, so now it's all stuck down. I'm just adding a little bit more dimension back into it by bending the leaves up again. So they flattened out a bit since I stuck them all down. And this should just give a bit more definition to each leaf. Okay, so I'm really loving how this is looking. I think it has turned out how I wanted it to, so that's great. But it just needs a little something extra. So I have these things, which are off of some Christmas crackers, and they were just decorations around the edge, around the bits that you pull. And I just saved them, and I've had them for years, because I just felt like there was something I could do with them, there was something cool I could do with them, but I've never found anything until now. And I think they will just be, I think they'll just look really cute, like little golden berries, so I'm gonna try and stick them in there as well. I love it. I'm so happy with it. I don't know, yeah, it just came out exactly how I wanted it to, and it's like, It's so mad that it's just made out of boxes. Just old boxes. But yeah, I'm actually so pleased with how it came out. I think it looks really cool. I mean, obviously you can't put it outside on a door. It's an inside decoration only. But yeah, I think it looks really cool. I think you could also use it as like a table centerpiece, maybe like lying down, and maybe have some like candles standing up in it or something. I think that would be pretty cool as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I love it. Okay, candle time. So I was attracted to this bowl because I really like the colour, and weirdly it wasn't part of a set or anything, it was just sitting alone in the shop. And I kind of think it's unlikely someone would have just bought it on its own, so I feel like I'm saving it from the abyss of landfill. Just saving the world one bowl at a time. And so now that it is clean, I am going to add my gold leaf. I've got my gilding paste, and it says to brush the gilding paste over the clean dry object to be gilded, leave for about 15 minutes. So let us begin. So I've never tried gilding before, and I don't actually know if it will stick to this surface. I assume it'll be fine because it says it's suitable for other non-porous surfaces such as glass and metal. I don't know how thick to put it on, as the bottle has minimal instructions, but I'm brushing it from the bottom up and stopping about halfway, but I'm not leaving a neat line. I want it to be a vaguely similar level all the way along, but I'm not intending it to be neat. I want an uneven edge. I'm thinking using a flat brush maybe wasn't the best choice because I don't want any straight edges. So I'm just going to blob it around so it looks a bit more organic. I could of course get a different brush more suited to the shape I want, but no, that would be too logical. Oh, my gilding paste has dripped where I'm turning the bowl at different angles. It's probably also a signal that it's a bit thick. I think I should just be able to wipe it off with a damp cloth, according to the instructions. So this side of the bowl is definitely dry now, so I'm going to start here and hope the other side is ready when I get to it. I'm not sure if I should have done it in sections rather than painting around the whole bowl, but well, here we are. It is done. Oh my gosh, it's so delicate. I'm not sure if there's like a specific side you're supposed to use. They both look the same. I'm not worried about it being really flat and neat looking. I quite like the sort of crinkly effect you can get, so just sort of patting it down without worrying if it's got any creases in it. And then I will use a soft dry brush just to get everything really stuck down and then remove all of the loose bits of gold leaf. I think it's working. It's looking pretty good. I'm sure experienced gilders would watch this in horror, but it does seem to be working okay. So I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I love the wavy edge, that's just how I wanted it. And there's a couple of places where the paste ran that I think I can just scratch off gently with the edge of a craft knife. Okay, so gilding is done. Doesn't look too bad, not for a first attempt. I'm actually quite pleased with it. I did manage to gild my table somehow as well accidentally. I'm sure I can get that off later. But yeah, now that's done. The next bit is doing the candle part of this, which again, I have done a candle years and years ago, but it's been quite some time, so I'm hoping I can remember how to do it properly. So I've got some vegetable wax because it was the cheaper one, because I'm cheap. I've also got some wicks, and I bought some fragrance as well, and I think so I got this pomegranate, mandarin and amber scent, which sounded very autumnal, so I'm going to go for that. I'm going to put 2 wicks in this bowl because I think it's quite a wide diameter. Yeah, it's a wide diameter. And I think it will require 2 wicks. So first of all I need to go and melt the wax, and I'm going to do that in a double boiler. So I'm going to put it in this jug inside a pan of water, and then when that's all melted completely I will add my fragrance. So I'm just going to go and melt this down now. I filled a pan with boiling water and kept it on a low heat. Then I put the jug filled with wax inside and gave it a bit of a stir with a wooden stick every now and again until the wax was fully melted. And instead of watching me pour fragrance into the wax, I thought you'd prefer a close-up shot of my arm. Okay, so I have my wax melted, and it does need to cool a little bit before you pour it, I believe. So I'm just going to stick my wicks in now. And I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of double-sided tape just to hold them in place. Okay, and to hold the wicks in the right place when I pour in the wax, I'm going to stick them with some kebab sticks. I was slightly concerned about putting the wax straight into the bowl as the heat might shock it slightly. I don't think there's enough of a temperature difference to make it crack, but I just thought it would be a good idea to heat it up a little so it's closer to the temperature of the wax. And I'm just going to use a heat tool on it for a couple of minutes. The moment of truth. That went okay. Kind of wanted it to be a little more full than that, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not ridiculous, so I think it's fine. Now we wait 200 years for this to dry. Okay, so the candle is done. It is all set, and I am just going to remove the sticks and then cut the wicks down. The wicks are very not central, which is annoying, but yeah, it's fine. And I definitely did not put enough wax in this. It didn't come up as high along the bowl as I wanted it to, but I think if I was going to give this away as a gift I would have added more wax, but to be honest I think it's fine. I'm not that bothered about it really. And yeah, for my first attempt at making a candle, I'm pretty pleased with it. It did dip in the middle very, very slightly, so there's a bit of cracking around the wicks themselves, but it's not major. Like it looks pretty flat to your eye. So yeah, I'm not going to bother to sort that out because it doesn't look awful. But that could have been due to the wax being a bit too hot when I poured it, apparently. So I should have left it for maybe a couple minutes more. And then also another thing is there's a bit of a gap formed around the edge where the wax has dried and pulled away from the side, and apparently that could also be due to the temperature difference between the bowl and the wax. So I did the right thing by trying to use the heat tool to warm up the bowl, but I probably just didn't do it quite enough. So that's something to keep in mind for next time. But overall I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks really cute. I think the gold probably should have come up a little bit higher along the bowl, maybe. I don't know. I like it. I like it anyway. So yeah, candle done. Okay, time to deconstruct this pillow. So I'm just gonna take the label off and where is the zip? Take the middle out of it, and it's always scary what's inside the pillow because it could be really gross. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, it's just a bit of a squished up pillow, but we will reuse that. I'm just going to start off by trimming all this edging off so that I have 2 flat pieces of velvety fabric. So I want this roughly in a circle shape, so I just need a pen. This fabric's really thick, and so I don't think there's much chance of my Sharpie going through it. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be sort of circular. That looks weirdly good for freehand. So the idea is to stuff it and then just pull it tight by putting a thread all the way around, just a running stitch. I didn't have the exact right colour thread, but this is kind of, I'm sure it's going to blend enough. Yeah, I want it to be quite close to the edge because I don't want too much excess fabric, but it needs a little bit, otherwise it's not going to work properly. Yeah, so it's just a basic running stitch all the way along. And then that will gather all the fabric together in the centre. So we have our running stitch all the way around the outside. So now I just need to stuff it, and the inside of the pillow is coming back, and I'm going to use some of the stuffing that's in here to do that with. It's kind of compacted and old, so I'm going to break it all up to reinvigorate it. To refluffify, to make it fluffy again. So I'm just going to pull these strings to tighten the edges a wee bit around my inner poofing. Okay, so it's kind of working. I feel it needs more poof. I'm just tying the thread here to keep the hole shut, but leaving enough of a gap for me to continue stuffing it, and then I will close it up later. To make it more the shape I want, I'm putting more wadding inside and pushing it down to make an evenly round shape. It's amazing how much stuff you can really squish in there. We're going for ages now. It's becoming more rounded. It was too flat before. Okay, it's starting to feel like it's reaching capacity. Got a big hole in the top now, so now I need to cinch that in a bit more. And I'm going to be sticking something on the top as a stalk, so the rough edges won't be seen. So now I'm using embroidery thread to stitch around the top again. It's a lot stronger than the other thread I used and will allow me to really pull the top tightly closed. And then I can cut off the previous thin thread once it's all tightened up. Okay, so we have our pumpkin sort of bally thing, and we need to make a stalk for the top. So I'm going to get some felt. I'm I'm just going to cut a strip. Okay, so we're going to roll up this felt. I think it's a bit big, but also I don't really like the felt with the velvet. I might have to have a rethink. Okay, so I decided not to use the felt, and I've got this yellowy gold organza which I'm going to roll up instead. I think the felt gives too rigid a shape, so the organza might be a bit more uneven and look better. I also prefer the colour of this one as well. I think it goes better with the dark orangey velvet. It's a bit of a fiddle to glue it down neatly, but I'm going to wrap this scrap piece around it to give a more organic feel. So now I want to put a couple of leaves on, and I already had these in my stash. I think they're quite cute. So this is how the pumpkin turned out. I kind of like it. I don't know, it's cute, but I don't love it. It's okay. The top bit ended up being completely different than what I thought, and I actually quite like how it's quite rough and ready because I wrapped the organza fabric around the top, and I think that looks way better than the felt kind of stalk that I originally thought I would have. Yeah, I didn't really like that when I put it on there. And these leaves, I mean, they aren't technically pumpkin leaves or anything, but they just add something. They're just cute. Yeah, and I was just kind of hoping that the creases would just sort of make it look pumpkin-y. Yeah, I'm happy to have upcycled something that would have otherwise maybe not been sold from the charity shop. It was just one cushion on its own, and yeah, it was a bit flattened out, so it probably would have just got thrown away or something. So yeah, I'm happy that I turned it into something new. Okay, so that is the 3 DIYs done. I'm really happy with how they all turned out. My favourite was the wreath. I absolutely love how it looks, and yeah, I can't wait to find somewhere to hang it up. I'm really looking forward to lighting the candle as well because it smells gorgeous, so that's going to be really cool. And yeah, I do love how it looks as well. And then the little pumpkin, yeah, I mean, it's not my favourite one, but I still like it, and I'm gonna display it this year as part of my autumn decorations. But yeah, I'm really pleased with them all, and yeah, I appreciate this is quite a long video, so thanks if you're still here. But yeah, if you are still here, thank you very much for watching, really appreciate it. And yeah, feel free to leave a like, comment or subscribe for more arts and crafts and boojos. Bye!